Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're mixing it up a little bit. We're going to do a vlog instead of the usual at the desk. Just some time restraints for this week because of the Thanksgiving holiday coming up in Canada. The kids will be off for 4 days, so we're just going to be doing family stuff and I won't have much time to do any recording. So I'm going to do a little bit extra this week, so I have a couple videos for you guys. What I want to talk to you guys about today is the new leaks that came out from Microsoft yesterday. Now, the person that leaked this information has been deemed to be reliable by Tom Henderson. Anyone that watches gaming stuff knows Tom Henderson. I follow him on X, and he is very reliable for stories, breaking leaks, and stuff like that. So he verified that this person usually is right when it comes to this sort of thing. And it might actually be pretty disheartening for Xbox fans, so we're gonna get right into the video. Let's get at it. You guys caught some of my earlier videos about Xbox. The one was just the downfall of the console itself. Now, don't kid yourself, guys. Xbox hardware sales have been declining over the past 2 generations quite substantially, from the Xbox 360 that came out and had about 85 million. Then they're down in the 50 millions for the Xbox One, and now we're down to 30 millions or so for the Xbox Series X and S. I'd say the decline in sales has made Microsoft switch up their game plan, going to more subscription-based, making that money every month no matter what. Now, yes, they always had Xbox Live, but Xbox Live was cheap back in the day. I think it was $60 for the year or something like that, guys, from what I recall. It wasn't very expensive. Now, this is in Canada, of course. The US, it was probably like 40 or 50, I don't know. But now the lowest tier in Canada, I think, is $14 a month, guys. And then my friends in the US, you're probably at $10 a month or so. So anyways, they went to the subscription-based stuff. They came out with Game Pass, trying to get everyone paying that monthly fee. And you have to understand, Microsoft at heart is a software company. And I think the hardware, while initially was a good idea for them, is kind of turned into an afterthought. And this did start with the Xbox One, when they wanted all these other different subscriptions on the Xbox One platform and basically turning it into a hub like Google or something. So we jump ahead to yesterday. And the leaker did come out and say that Microsoft is up in the air on whether they're actually going to move ahead with consoles and stuff like that. Now, I take this with a bit of a grain of salt because really the new consoles, I believe, were supposed to come out next year or the year after. So in my opinion, those consoles are in development. They're probably pretty much done with most of the R&D on them, and they're just, finalizing a lot of stuff. I don't know, guys. To me, that seems a little bit crazy. But again, this guy is supposed to be very reliable, so we'll see how that plays out. Now, one of the big issues here, it was a point that I brought up in one of my videos from last week about the Xbox and the Activision merger here. I didn't know any numbers. I was just making an assumption that them buying Activision and then losing out on all those physical Call of Duty sales and digital sales on the Xbox platform because of Game Pass, it probably cost them a ton of money, and it came out that it cost them about $300 million, guys. So I was pretty spot on in that assessment, and $300 million is a lot of money, guys. So I think what happened here is Microsoft just financially, they made a very poor decision with putting Call of Duty on Game Pass. I believe if they didn't put Call of Duty on Game Pass, that a lot of this stuff wouldn't even be happening right now. But they've kind of shot themselves in the foot by putting it on there, because really they can't take it off now, so they have a problem. They have to recoup those losses because most of the Game Pass players are still on the Xbox. There's some on PC, but the majority obviously is on the Xbox, and they're losing a ton of money with Call of Duty sales on the Xbox because of that. So in their minds, it's a catch-22 to make up that revenue. Even still, the Game Pass revenue was $5 billion. So they're making tons of money on Game Pass before they raise prices. So this is just one of those cases where they could have absorbed this cost. They just refuse to absorb the cost. And this is what happens when these giant companies buy up all of these smaller companies to them. Even though Activision Blizzard's a huge company, to Microsoft, it's a smaller company. And the scary part of it all is with Microsoft doing this and Sony buying up studios, like they've been doing this for years, don't kid yourself. At some point, they're probably just going to own everything, and then it's really going to be brutal for choice and the cost of these things. But we'll circle back to the leaks because I don't want to get too off topic about what the video is about here. So this all is putting the new generation of Xbox in jeopardy by the sounds of it. Now, Microsoft released a statement saying they're all in on hardware and stuff, but when you see their statements, it's very cryptic. They'll say, we're all in on hardware, we're doing this, blah, 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 for now. So what does that mean to me? It means who the hell knows what's going on. A board of directors is going to end up deciding probably in the next couple years whether Xbox moves ahead or not. Thinking on this is when you put so much uncertainty out towards your own product, you know, you're going to hurt future sales here. Like, there's no doubt about it. I really can't see people rushing out to buy a new Xbox, even if one does come out at this point. There's the diehard Xbox people. I am one of them, guys, but I really don't think I'm going to buy the next one just because it's going to be so cost prohibitive. Like, you know. Now, what worries me in general is their wording about the hardware. They want to partner with AMD. They are partnering with them, whatever. And my suspicion with this is that you won't see a true Xbox console. It's gonna be some sort of PC hybrid produced by Asus or something like that, kind of like the Ally is, and it will have all the apps on it that the usual Xbox would. I believe it's also going to have the Steam app on it. That's one more leak that I heard. So they're really moving the Xbox towards a PC type platform. Now, you might be saying to yourself, that's a really good idea, it gives people more options, and while true, at that point it's just a PC, guys. There's no real point to have an Xbox. Like, I would just rather have a PC and do everything you can do on a PC, plus have the Game Pass and Steam and everything else anyways, right? So I don't know where their thinking is with this part. You have to take this with a grain of salt. These are leaks. Microsoft is a big company. It moves fast with some things. This Game Pass stuff, I'm sure this cost them probably millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars just doing that. Like, their website crashed, so many people were canceling the subscriptions. People are just simply not going to pay that much per month. You know, I think I might do the $35 for the month and play Call of Duty for a month, see how it goes. Otherwise, I don't really want to spend $100 on Call of Duty. I wasn't planning on playing it, but now that they're removing skill-based matchmaking, if they have that playlist, it might be something I want to try and, you know, just enjoy it and not have a sweat fest again. Oh, and then every lobby isn't like full of sweat Lord MLG wannabes and stuff with the MLG logos and character skins and all that stuff, guys. Us casual guys just want to jump on for an hour or two a few times a week and have some fun, and I think that's really why the sales have been declining on the franchise for a while. Quite honestly, it is depressing if you are an Xbox fan, and like I said, guys, you know me on the channel. Xbox 360 is my favorite console. I am a huge Xbox fan, and to me this is just disheartening. The last two consoles for Xbox have honestly been a kick in the nuts, guys. I'm not gonna lie. They just don't have that draw that the old 360 and the original had for me. I don't think it's just me, and I don't think it's just me. I think it's people in general. It just doesn't seem to have that flavor that it used to have. You know, at one point, Xbox did have the world by the tail. You know, Halo, Gears of War. They had exclusive rights to Call of Duty, Fable, Forza. You know, there was something for everybody on the platform, and pretty much do this with every product. It's not just video games. They'll find something that makes money, and they'll milk it to death without a long-term goal of sustainability with a lot of this. So, very unfortunate. Now, my conclusion to all of this, if I was a betting man, I would say the next version of the Xbox is going to come out, guys, but I have a feeling sales will be pretty low on it. And I don't even know if it's going to be a full next-gen reboot, as so much of kind of like a, I'm going to say like a mid-gen update. I don't think they're going to go balls deep on these consoles, and I have a feeling they're not going to be that well supported. That's just my gut feeling. I figure they're going to push these out, and they'll keep pushing Game Pass and stuff, and you gotta understand, even if everyone switches to PC and gets Game Pass, Microsoft's still gonna win, guys, and it's all about those subscriptions. It's like all of these companies want subscription-based models now, and you know, it really does suck for the consumer. It's just so damn greedy and shitty, guys. It's like BMW making you pay to have heated seats in your car and have a subscription to use it, and even with our cars, you got to pay for the stupid app yearly just to remote start your car and unlock the doors with your phone. And yeah, it's absolute bullshit. I'm looking forward to the next little while and seeing what Xbox puts out regardless, guys. I just think it's a really shitty time if you are an Xbox fan. In the end, Microsoft might go back to the roots and just be a software developer, guys. They could go the way of the dodo, like Sega and Atari and all these other game companies that have come and gone, which would be very unfortunate. The big problem here would be that Sony would basically have a monopoly on the high-end console market. And you know, not having any competition would be really bad for consumers, guys. All my Canadian friends, enjoy your Thanksgiving weekend. Eat a whole bunch of food and be lazy and lay on the couch with your family and have a good time. To my friends over in Europe and the United States, enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you in the next one. If you have anything to add, please like, comment, subscribe as always. See you in the next one. Peace.